It has replaced the plyboards almost to 80 to 90%. The challenges in local boards is often also the formaldehyde content, which is quite poisonous. It can evoke cancers.
Apart from investment, one of the bigger challenges for you is creating awareness of the product.
Exactly.
How are you dealing with that?
So because of saving maybe a few thousand rupees, they're losing
On the bigger picture,
a lot of corals.
Why did you choose India?
That's a good question. It is.
Welcome to Design and Dialogues, everyone. Today I'm joined by a German entrepreneur who's bringing an amazing product to the construction industry in India. Today we'll unpack what this product holds and how is it different from the traditional products that you find in India and why he's chosen India to do this business. Let's dive into this one dialogue at a time. Welcome to the show, Marcel.
Thank you, Ataf, for having me here today.
Tell us about this product, which is OSB boards that you've brought to India, and how is it a game changer? How is it disrupting the industry?
Yeah, actually, our green strand board, it is a traditional OSB board, a little bit advanced than the ordinary qualities which we are having over there even. So this board is differentiating to the boards which you are having right now in India, like the plyboards, the MDF, which is already a great board for several applications. It is differing. It is giving you another option, another tool in your toolbox, which helps you to overcome certain challenges in which the other boards left behind. The OSB is a board which was getting invented in the US already in the 1940s, something like that, in the last centuries. It has replaced the plyboards almost to 80 to 90% in US. It jumps over to Europe. It did the same. It did started also in Russia the same way, or in China. And now we are bringing this wonderful board to India.
So what is OSB? What does it stand for? And what is the composition of an OSB?
OSB, traditionally, it's getting made with the full log. It is a fresh cut log which is getting chipped into layers. These layers are getting dried, and it is getting sprayed some adhesive, which is PMDI. And then it is getting pressed with 50,000 tons to this fantastic board, which is always equal. So we don't have any variations in the height. We don't have any variations in the consistency. The content is several wood species. Ordinary, we are using 60-70% pine. And the rest is some aspen wood or some softwood. And the combination is important because it varies or gives you the variety in stiffness and bending abilities. It is more stiff than the plyboards. So it is replacing the plyboards in several applications, in the constructions, in the furnitures, and also in the interior architects, or especially also in the packaging industry. So plywood having its place, and OSB definitely as well.
So starting from what you said, it's changed a lot of the plywood. It's replaced them in US, in different parts of Europe. What is one product, and I perhaps know the answer to this, but I'm still going to ask you, what is the product which is being used in the Indian industry which OSB can potentially replace?
What we have figured out, that there are several applications where the common boards in the market are not fulfilling their job properly. It can be in huge wardrobes where HDMR, for example, is bending. So our board is more stiff, so it's giving more structural values. So another place is the prefab homes, where it can get easily fixed and joined. It is Also in the, you can say like in the furniture manufacturing, the challenges in local boards is often also the formaldehyde content, which is quite
Yes.
poisonous. It can evoke cancers. So our board is having and following the European and the American standards. So you can sit with you can say like easy and relaxed mind on your sofa set, which is
Yeah.
getting made out of OSB,
Yeah.
instead of having a local plywood in it.
Okay. So you mean it's sustainable, it's stronger, and it also, I wouldn't say consciously you'll feel better about yourself.
Definitely it is. See, in Europe we are taking a big load on especially these things. Everything what we put inside our homes, and especially our environment in our kids' rooms. So we want to be sure that they are growing well and having
Of
not
course.
any issues. So yes, we have also used all these boards. In the 70s, 80s of the last centuries, we was having this formaldehyde muff binders, which are traditionally getting used to
Yeah.
fix these particles together. But we have seen the causes, and why not to overjump this evolution which we have done in India?
Yeah.
The same you did with the telephone.
Yeah.
I think not everyone is having a copper wired telephone at the home, but everyone is carrying at least one or two smartphones.
I don't know. Yeah.
So why not to do the
Same
jump
with the-
also in the wooden industry?
Interesting. You've already outlined the benefits in terms of strength, in terms of performance. What about cost-wise, as compared to plywood or MDF? How is it different?
Yes, that is always the first question which is coming
Yeah.
when we are counting our advantages
Yeah.
of our board. And yes, traditionally in India, it is going directly, okay, what is the price?
Very price-sensitive market, you know.
Yes.
So,
And the challenge for us is like, what is now getting compared?
okay.
So when you compare it price-wise with the local boards
Yeah.
that you get, which are quite pathetic, which is
Yeah.
delamination,
Yeah.
then surely our board might be a little bit expensive.
Okay.
But when you compare it to branded plies or
Right.
commercial plies, which are following at least some standards,
Yeah.
our board is bringing higher values
Okay.
for a lower price.
Okay.
And this often the people are not getting at the immediately point, or
Okay.
they are thinking it is how it can be possible.
So the big brands in India, they're talking about, you know, in terms of plywood, they're talking about the consistency, the pricing. So you mean that OSB boards are even better than that in terms of the quality and the lower in pricing? What's the price difference like?
See, when I remember well, for example, an branded ply costing around, I think 150, 160 rupees in the market,
Okay.
18 mm.
Okay.
Even it can be higher when it is E0
Yeah.
or E1, which our board actually is.
Okay.
E0, E1 is the formaldehyde content, and so our board, in the same way, it's costing approximately around 80 rupees.
Okay.
So it is half the price per square feet.
The pricing is so attractive, but it's worked so well in Europe. Why hasn't it come to India, even though the pricing is so good?
I think there are certain challenges. First of all, OSB is getting traditionally made out of the local spaces which we are having.
Okay.
In Europe and in US, the local spaces are pine wood, aspen wood. There are some certain kind of needles, softwood, hardwoods. So here in India, you have different species. And the demand in Europe and in US or wherever these industries are is quite high.
Okay.
Still for us it is challenging to get all these quantities which we are requiring, because the demand is still very high. So there was never any interest of someone to look out for far markets like
Okay.
India.
Okay.
And to develop an industry over here, it is taking a huge investment as well.
Right.
So what we are doing is now we are exploring the market, we are making the base, and
Yeah.
our target is also to have this set up here in India with the local species. There are already approaches of other people trying it, but their challenges is the quality, the issues, and maybe also the experience which is missing. and definitely also a high investment which needs to get done.
So the biggest, apart from investment, one of the bigger challenges for you is creating awareness of the product.
Exactly.
How are you dealing with that?
Yes, we are doing our job day by day. We are explaining the advantages of our product. We are actually figuring out, showing where are the solutions for the challenges the people having with the local boards and also with the results they are facing. See, we have many customers when we go now to the packaging industry, for example, which is a little bit different to the interior architect scene. They are getting the containers rejected. They have wonderful products they're making. They're packing it in some local bly, and the customs over there saying, okay, no entry with your boards.
Oh, really?
So because of saving maybe a few thousand rupees, they're losing
on the bigger picture
a lot of corollas. Yes, and this should not be. And so we are showing the customers where are the gaps, where are the advantages, and where they can overcome their challenges to give the best solution to their customers. And when it comes to interiors and architects, there's also so many possibilities you can have more. We are not saying forget plyboards, forget HDMR. We are saying it is another fantastic tool which having a multi-purpose use, and try it out.
What are the misconceptions that you might have received when you're in that awareness marketing funnel? Are there any misconceptions that people have, or preconceived notions in their mind about OSB, and that's why they're not willing to try it?
I see the main challenge is that it is something totally new.
Okay.
So even we might be able to transport the value to our communication partner.
Yeah.
So if they are able to do it, to communicate it to their customers and clients, then there are certain, you can say like whatever comes new, there are doubts. Okay, what is the use? Why I need to use it? Then fixed relations to vendors, to suppliers, to different business terms, arrangements, which are traditionally in India a little bit different than to overseas. Yes.
Even though the cost of setting up is so high, the challenges of being an outsider, obviously, and coming and establishing this in India. Why did you choose India?
That's a good question. It is. It was born out of a, you can say, like evening discussion with one of my friends.
Okay.
And there was, first of all, okay, let me start a little earlier. I'm traveling to India more than 30 years.
Okay.
And I like the spirit which is in India, and especially the last 10, 20 years. The country is developing, the optimism is quite high, the energy, the young people which are here. And after Corona, which have affected all the world,
100%.
And we have realized many things sitting together, discussing. And in one evening, I had sat with a friend who is from that particular industry, the wooden industry, delivering machineries, spare parts, etc. to these things. So we have discovered, okay, what we are doing. Yes, what we can do. And then we tested out some ideas, some things. Then I came back to India, explored the market of wooden panels, and I've seen, okay, how you can work with these kind of boards for these applications. And we said, give us a try. Bring some boards and show if you can help overcoming some challenges the local industries are facing, and let's see if it is working out. So it was more like an adventure, you can say.
Okay. Yeah. Has India been kind to the German entrepreneur so far?
Yes, definitely. See, on the personal side, it is still a place which is controversy. Yes, but from the human nature of the Indians, I never can say I was not welcome.
Okay.
Wherever I go,
That's nice.
I see a big hospitality. I see, very great people who are welcoming me quite warm, even though the business are not happening.
Yeah.
But this is on a secondary role. And regarding the business, yes, we are now entering an Indian market which is having its own rules, its own regulations and dynamics. Yes.
So I'm assuming that obviously it's speaking to distributors in India, but you're also speaking to interior designers, architects, furniture manufacturers. Have you faced any challenges from their end, or has the response been very accepting of the product that you're bringing to India?
It is both the way. It is, first of all, the curiosity is there.
Okay.
Okay, what is that now?
Yeah.
And then there's many misunderstandings also about the board. Many times we are listening, okay, this is from the scrap material, this is from the leftovers, so it should be very reasonable. And so we have to do a lot of education. And the challenges which we are facing is that, yes, the acceptance would be there, but often they are, landing the decisions. It is taking quite a while, and the transportation to the next stage is, for us at least, yes, you can say can have some obstacles in between.
Okay.
But yes, it took also a lot of time to understand the Indian market. That, for example, when you're purchasing here a wood and you're ordering 18 mm of plywood, just for an example, people are happy to receive 15 or 16 mm.
Yeah, okay.
So there's a huge tolerance
they're happy
in
to-
discrepancies.
Okay, they're happy to have that variance?
Yes,
It doesn't
almost
matter.
everyone. It is getting accepted.
It's like a market norm. If it's okay, I ordered 18, but I get 16 for that matter.
It is an undersized rule, and we haven't understood that in the beginning. So why they can sell it so cheap? I say yes, a part of the material is missing. So our product is precise, 15 mm, 18 mm or whatever.
Okay. Briefly tell us about the coating that's done on the, because everyone's going for a natural look as well. The woods that you've got, you can have it in a very natural finish as well, right? So for taking this platform to just let the interior designers and architects to know that they can have a very natural wooden look by installing your OSB boards as well.
Yes, the variations are quite huge.
Yeah.
First of all, you have this the natural board as it is coming out of the press. So the what you say, like the coating, it is basically the melamine coating which happens after you press the wood. Even it is dried up to 6-7% of moisture, but you're pressing with 50,000 tons. So there is coming a juice out of this PMDI, the binder which is there, which is giving not only the water resistancy, also the termite resistancy as well. It is laying over the boards. So it is giving a natural glossy, shining. But even though you can have various, you can put the laminates on it. You can polish it to different colors where even you can see the wood strains inside is giving a 3D effect. We have made experiments with epoxy, with polyester coatings, which is very fascinating. We have laser engravings. Even prints we can put. We can put family pictures on it. It is like every wooden panel, you can say. It depends what you make out of it. You can use it for the construction, for the, you can say like the roof decking, but you can use it also as an art object, which are many people now in Europe and US picking up. It's became a fashion for the commercial interiors, for the personal interiors, for the industrial look. It is a quite variable board.
Is it also water resistant? Because that is something that many interior designers and architects would want to ask.
Yes, it is water resistant,
Yeah.
but it is not waterproof.
Okay.
And this we have to vary it because there's sometimes a misunderstanding, but waterproof means like you can put it in water
Yeah.
and You take it out and it is the same.
Okay.
Water resistant means like it resists water, like spreading, like drops, like a small showering or whatever. Even though in comparison to plywood, it is having a different effect when it stands, for example, in water, which usually it is not. But if so, in plywood, the strains are like this. It is going up.
Yeah.
So water will climb up. Even you have 1 inch water in the floor, the water will climb half a meter, 60 centimeter up.
Okay.
In OSB, you will have it only in that level.
Yeah.
Because we have the cross strands, which is
Yeah.
giving the strength.
Yeah.
And everywhere inside is the adhesives, which is binding it. So this is why it is also termite resistance.
Yeah.
Even termites trying to pinch, but they don't like it because PMDI is there.
Interesting.
So they cannot go through the channel.
So you're currently importing from Europe. Could this be done in India perhaps instead of importing it?
Yes, definitely it could be done. Currently we are importing from Europe because it is yes, quite huge setup which need to get built. Some researches need to get done on local species. We are importing right now. We are on an initial stage, you can say. But we have always, you can say, like containers on the way. So there is no breakage in the supply chain. We have a valuable stock also over here. As we are getting now slowly also the traction and the acceptance in the market. So people are getting the awareness. We are almost, next month we are 2 years.
Nice.
As we have started. So yes, the target is to have our own setup here, and maybe it might take 2 or 3 years more, but yes, we are opting out for it.
So with the composition of the woods that you were telling me about, which OSB has, would you find all the raw material in India as is?
Actually, it is the similar scenario. Most of the pine wood resources which you have in India is getting imported. The challenge in India is like you're not having much wood resources to give away. You should more deforest now at the current scenario. So we are elaborating how we can cope up with that, or if we are not going to some different strategy, using different materials, different raw materials which have even a similar or same effect like our OSB. Yeah.
Is there anything holding you back? Or could you perhaps, speaking from a technical point of view, I don't know, would you be able to replace pine wood, for example, with an Indian wood?
It could be done, and it is getting done. As OSB, as I said, it's not only getting produced in US and Europe, it is also getting produced nowadays, I guess, in China, and even some other countries are fetching up. So they are using, for example, rubber woods or eucalyptus wood.
Okay.
But still, for us, important is that, see, in Europe, when you cut one tree, you have to plant at least 3 more. And you have to guarantee that it is getting developed. So here we are sometimes not aware, okay, where are the sources? So, and how the wood reach to us. So we need to see if we have to have our own plantations, our own land, how long it will take, or if we are taking some other species where availability is there and the sustainable effect will be also there. For example, there are experiments with bamboo to utilize it for that. And yes, but we are still working on it.
I personally say this all the time, that the Indian market has immense opportunities and the growth in the next coming years would be exponential as well. What do you feel with India as a market? You briefly touched upon, how the youth and over the past 10 years that the aura of India has changed, and of the people as well. But speaking from your product, or in terms of your product, where do you think the opportunity lies?
Okay, the opportunity, yes, this is why we came also. It is quite huge. See, you're touching almost 1.5 billion population in India. The market is already now bigger than the European market when you just consider the middle class. The focus of the world is on India as an export nation, which is also making a dramatically change.
It is.
And for us, there are some case studies which are even 10 years back, you can say, for the consumption of OSB. And their figures are which are demanding, you can say, like 100 to 150 plants of OSB to fulfill just a basic demand in future. And you must imagine one plant is having an output of 500,000 cubic meters.
Okay.
Only in Germany, the consumption of OSB is nowadays approximately 6 million cubic meters. And Germany is a country which is taking place 2 times in daily NCR when it comes to the, for the consumption and the usage.
And I suppose it's a very saturated country as well in terms of growth and construction as compared to India, where tier 2, tier 3 hasn't even, or even tier 1 has not completely come up to its potential.
Exactly. And even Germany, the demand of OSB is increasing, even while we have a declining economy right now. And this shows us that there is a huge potential in India. And yes, why not to give this wonderful product also in this market? And
so speaking of the product, is it possible that, or would you be able to tell me if there is any sort of preference that's given to people who are exporting furniture, for example, to Europe, and just because they've used OSB instead of plywood, they would be highly regarded automatically?
They should. There's several challenges in the local ply, and in other wood they are using. One we touched already is the formaldehyde content. So whenever a furniture is getting made and it's getting tested by the customs or even by the buyers, there should be not such a high content of formaldehyde. So it have to be CARB or ASTM compliant in Europe and in America. So when you go for this market, you have to purchase an E0 plyboard, which is dramatically much higher in cost than our OSB. And also for the packaging industry, this will have the same effect. Many boards are getting rejected. Many cargoes getting rejected and refused because of these issues which you have with the local quality of ply. And when you have to fetch up with the branded plies, you face the price issue. So this is where we are coming in between and can offer a high value for the furnitures and for the exporting industries.
For a designer or a contractor, can you give me one case scenario where OSB would be the perfect solution? Let's say for construction.
Okay, when it comes to construction, yes, when you want or need to replace the solid woods or even have a consistent opportunity, you can use our boards in several constructions applications. You can use it for the flooring, the subflooring, the partition walls. When you go to the mountains here in India, you have a different kind of housing styles.
Yes.
So you can use it for the roof decking, for the underlayments, as it is mainly used also in Europe. So there are certain advantages against the plywood. The plywood is having its advantages in the flexibility. When you bend it, it is possible. And see, I love the plyboards as well, as I'm also doing my own DIY at home. In Europe we have a different culture on that. When we are building our barns, we do it on ourselves. But for the stiffness of our boards, it is meant for the constructions. While the plyboard is bending, our board is stiff. It is fast to attach. It is giving strength and consistency. So I would always go for the OSB in that scenario. But yes, for some different cases, other boards are also brilliant. Like you're not using one tool in your toolbox. You try to have always the best tool for the needs you need to fulfill right now. And yes, in the mountains or even on the coastal sides, prefab homes, cottages, our board is brilliant.
So for prefab homes, how does it work then in that scenario?
Prefab homes, they're getting installed. You can make your modulars. You can fix the insulation inside. You can deliver it to the work site and get it quick installed.
Okay.
So in Europe, it is a quite common technique.
I think the trend is increasing over here as well. It's
Definitely
on the rise, and definitely everyone wants that flexibility, and that with the modern architecture, I think it goes hand in hand. So I'm sure that the OSB has a very bright future, and it's definitely a newer product. How long do you think it's been you've been in the industry, in Indian market for about 2 years?
Yes.
How long do you think it's been in India for overall? Or are you a trailblazer?
No, actually not. See, our board, the Green Strand board, is now in 2 years here. There was several approaches, I think 10, 15 years back to bring this board into the market.
Yeah.
Even big companies try to get place because they have understood the capacity which this market is having.
Yeah.
But to enter in this market, you have to understand the market. And you need to take the time. You need to find the right people. You need to have the right approach.
And perhaps the timing as well, because 10, 15 years, India was slightly more different to what it is right now.
That is also a case.
Yeah.
And you need to have the patience and the long breath. And to cope up with all these specialties you have in the Indian market and also in the Indian culture, which is there. So we are not a trailblazer, but we said we are focused on one product. We love this product. We are identifying ourselves with this product. And yes, we can deliver much more insights than just a trader. We are technically educated. We are educating our sales, our service crafts, and giving them the knowledge. For example, when you want to make roof decking, you have a separation of 60 centimeter, which board is to apply. It is not trial and error. We have the calculations, we have the lab reports, we have all that stuff. So we are more also in the consultancy stage right now, educating, giving information, giving also, for example, an interior designer who want to utilize our product to show the advantages to their clients. We are accompanying them in the sales communications. We are giving them material which they can forward. We are creating images, designs. So we don't understand ourselves as a, you can say like just a trader or dealer. We want to be an ambassador for our product, the Green Strand board actually.
Fantastic. Well, Marcel, this has been a very interesting conversation. I always say that I want to highlight the works of people who are making some change in the industry, or people who've got a new product. And I feel that your product, and when I first met you and I learned a bit more about the product, I definitely thought that more and more people should know about this, given that the scope and the scale of the industry is so high in India, especially in the interiors and architecture and furniture space, not just domestically, but also the export potential that India has. And I feel that this product of yours has got great potential and will definitely upset the market in some way, shape or form. So I appreciate you for coming down today and doing this with me. Thank you for your time, and hopefully the viewers take something out of it.
Thank you, Ataf, for having me here, giving me this platform, and yes, I hope it was not the last time. Maybe we have chance
definitely
one more time.
Yeah.
So, yes, see how it works.
I'm looking forward to it. Cheers.
Yes.
Thanks, Marcel.
Thank you.